This video is dedicated to Elena and my nephew. Hi everyone, Leanne here. I hope you're doing well. Today I am coming at you with my face in front of the camera to respond to the 8 pen questions that Simone and I had collaborated on. It's been a few weeks. Has it been over a month? Maybe it's been 2 months. I haven't checked, but since then, it has been so much fun to watch all of the response videos to the 8 pen questions. It's been like one of my daily joys to check the hashtag and see if a new video has been posted. And each time it's just been so fun to listen to your own fountain pen journeys, your origin stories, and how your tastes have evolved over time. And even some ways where it just hasn't even changed. Some things have stayed the same while other parts of your journey have changed. So here I am, offering a little bit more of my, just kind of a further explanation or even just my own personal video response to the 8 pen questions. And I hope you enjoy this video. So question number 1. Oh, I was just checking my finger because I was just writing with a fountain pen and I thought my hand was going to be all inked up, but surprisingly it's not. So question number 1, when and how did your fountain pen journey begin? I mentioned it in my conversation with Simone, but just to kind of, talk a little bit at length here, I started about a year ago because I injured myself. I was in a ski accident and I partially tore a calf muscle and found out I had a blood clot behind my knee, all on my dominant leg. So I couldn't drive, I couldn't walk, I was on crutches for 3 months. And during that time, that first week that I was on the couch, feeling really helpless because here I am as a mother and as a wife, I just felt so helpless. So really the only thing that I really could do was to be on my phone or to journal. And I picked up journaling again. I used to journal all the time when I was a kid up until probably my early 20s. And then I just stopped journaling. Would journal every now and then, but a year ago when I injured myself is when I actually started regularly journaling, almost on a daily basis. And now, since January, I've been journaling every single day. And it has really returned to me to be just a faithful, reliable, and grounding practice. And so I'm just so glad, the silver lining to my injury. But anyway, that was a bit of a segue, or a bit of a tangent there. But I started my fountain pen journey when I was on the couch. I had a Hobonichi A6 daily planner at that time. And so I was watching Coffee Monsters Co., all of her content about her fountain pen or about her journal and how she fills her Hobonichi pages. And then she shared her fountain pen collection and then her fountain pen ink collection. And then my eyes were opened and I haven't looked back since then. So within that first week, I ordered my first fountain pen, which I'll probably return to in one of the subsequent questions. But anyway, my first pen was this Lamy All-Star in black. I have it currently inked, if you're curious, in Lamy Tourmaline. And the ink was gifted to me by my nephew. So thank you so much, nephew. Love you. And I have it currently in the Han, the Chinese cursive nib, or the Chinese nib. I bought it on Yoseka, the Yoseka Stationery Shop's website. Anyway, so this was my first pen. And so I recently celebrated my 1-year anniversary since having been injured. And really out of that injury was birthed my fountain pen journey and this YouTube channel. So in a way, like, kind of grateful, for having been injured. Is that weird to say? But that's been, one of the lemonade stories from just having been injured over a year ago. Okay, so question number 2 is favorite inks in the beginning and what are your go-to inks now? Well, I think because my fountain pen journey is just so new, I'm still in the exploration, play, curious, like all of that. I feel like it's just effervescent. It's kind of overflowing my enthusiasm and curiosity for pens and inks and paper. But if you know, my first currently inked, you know, spread is any indication of what I was really into. This is a spread from my first currently inked video from May of 2022. These were my first inks. These are the inks that I was drawn to. And as you can tell, they are all autumnal inks, the earthy ochres, the browns, but Inaho, and I think a lot of my purchases were influenced by Abby C, because I remember one of her videos that first got me acquainted with her channel was her fountain pen ink collection, and it was all of the greens and oranges, the fall colors that I really gravitated towards. So my first go-to inks were, Noodler Southwest Sunset, and then here's Pilot Iroshizuku Inaho. Pilot Iroshizuku Tsukushi. This is Diamine Ancient Copper, which still is a favorite of mine. And then I have Platinum Carbon Black ink. And how have my pen tastes changed, or my ink taste changed over time? Wait, no, that's my third question. But my second question, favorite inks in the beginning and what are my go-tos now? My go-tos now, I'm finding that I still really like Ancient Copper. Not really into Noodler Southwest Sunset anymore. Still really into Inaho. I just did a video on that, just ink comparisons and dupes for that. And if I'm looking at my ink swatch now, my most recent ink swatches, I would say I really am gravitating towards more of like the desaturated colors, the muted tones, like Teranishi Opera Rose, and Color vs. Brunch Date. This color right here, Kobe 8 Arima Amber, is a lovely color. I mean, just positioning that next to Opera Rose is just so lovely. But also I have been, if you really want to know what I'm really into right now, my most recent ink purchases are all within like the Dominant Industry Manchurian Violet color family. So I recently did an ink haul from the Vancouver Pen Shop, bought some ink samples there, and I got Robert Oster Cosmic Swirl. So that is something that I'm really into. Kind of like a bluish purple, like a medium saturated purple is what I'm into right now. But I'm still really into like the desaturated, the muted earth tones, like, let's see. Well, Inaho would be one of them, Teranishi Opera Rose, and then even this color from Colorverse Inks. Kyujanggak is just this gorgeous rosy medium saturated ink. So those are what I'm into right now. But then I guess, you know, it's hard to just stop because I'm also really into like these teals and these greens right here. Diamine Holly still is one of my favorites, and I think Color vs. Gravity Wave is something that I'm really excited to ink a pen up with. Question number 3: How have your pen and ink tastes changed over time? Well, my first pen was this Lamy All-Star. My tastes have changed in that I'm starting to buy more expensive pens. My most recent pen acquisition is the Platinum 3776 in Shape of Heart. I didn't buy it brand new. I did buy it pre-loved on Instagram. It was through somebody that I follow, and I'll mention her Instagram name. I believe it's Scriptuella. I don't think I've ever said it out loud, but I bought one of the pens that she has used and has loved, And so I was able to buy it at a pretty discounted rate. So anyway, they've gotten more expensive, but out of all of my Lamis, I think I'm going to keep this, not only because it was the first pen that I got, but yeah, I really like, I love it even more with this Chinese character, the Han nib. So anyway, still love my Lamis, but I would say my tastes have gotten a little bit more expensive. So I'm really trying to find pens pre-loved from trusted sources. But yeah, so the Platinum 376 and 3776, and it's one of my favorites. Ink tastes. I mentioned this in the previous question, but I would say I'm really leaning towards, well, first of all, I've always loved shading inks in the beginning. And I still love shading inks now. They're probably like my favorite kind of ink quality or property. But what I am really surprised by is in the beginning, I didn't think I liked shading inks at all. And now, you know, one of my favorite inks is a sheening ink. It's not a super sheener, but it has like beautiful shading properties, you know, Diamine Holly. And looking at Color vs. Gravity Wave, I can imagine that to be an ink that I'm really going to enjoy. So what I'm most surprised by is the fact that I found that I really do like some shading inks. And that's been lovely. So I like shading inks and I like some shading. Question number 4, are there inks and pens that I've yet to try but would like to? Yes, I would love to get into the Sailor Ink Studio inks. I've tried maybe 3 or 4. I own 2 of them, but I would love to try more of their inks because I think they're absolutely gorgeous. They're gorgeous and they're well lubricated. I would also like to get into Monteverde inks. Just because I don't really have a lot of those. I did try Monteverde Mandarin Orange, and I really do like that ink a lot. And as far as pens that I would like to try, the Pelikan, all the Pelikan pens, like the M400, the M600, the M800, the M1000, would just like to be able to hold it and write with them. I think I tried one of the M blank hundreds. I don't remember which one, at the Pelikan Hubs meetup, but I don't remember exactly which one it was, but I remember loving it. But anyway, so those are the inks or the pens that I would like to try. And question number 5, my Holy Grail pen remains the same. It's the Leonardo Momento Zero Grande in abalone. It's a Leonardo Leonardo and Cult. Is it Cult pens? No, it's Leonardo and Korea Limited Korea. Oh my goodness, I can't believe I don't remember it, but it's a collaboration with a Korean company, and it was a limited edition. I don't see any for sale. I've even reached out to some folks to see if they would be interested in selling me their pens. But yes, that is my Holy Grail pen. I don't know if I would ever get my hands on one of them. And maybe the fact that it's unattainable to me by price and just because it's in such limited quantities, I don't know if I'd ever be able to own one, have one in my possession, but that to me remains like my Holy Grail pen. Okay, number 6, how many pens do I currently own? In my video with Simone, I think I said I had like 44 pens, but since then I have whittled down my collection. I looked at all the pens that I just happen to have. I don't reach for them. If anything, I feel like I feel obligated to use them only because I don't use them at all. So I've actually separated my collection between the pens that I actually really enjoy and look forward to using and the pens that I don't like to use at all. And so I'm hoping to get my collection down to 20 pens, including my recent pen acquisition. But the conversation with Simone really opened my eyes because, she had mentioned, with the amount of pens that I have, You know, I could only get to using a pen maybe once a year or once every few months. So I have intentions to really decrease my fountain pen collection so that I can really be able to enjoy the pens that I love to use, and be able to explore inks in that process. Okay. Question number 7, do you have a limit on pens and inks in your collection? Is it a number? Is it a feeling? And when do you know you've reached your max? To me, it's definitely a feeling. It's not so much a number. Though I did say I'm hoping to, whittle it down to 20 pens. Really, it's about, trying the Marie Kondo method. I hold up a pen. Do I look forward to using this pen? If I don't look forward to it, then I am going to destash it. I'm going to sell it online, or I'm going to give it to a friend. But for me, it's definitely a feeling of, am I excited to use this pen? Am I appreciating the qualities of this pen? And, do I look forward to it? Does it bring back this feeling of play and excitement and just exploration? And if yes, then I will keep the pen. And if there is any no in my responses, then I'm apt to, pass them along to somebody who will appreciate them. So it's definitely a feeling. It could change. Like, yes, I'm saying 20 pens. I'm only saying that arbitrarily because I have a 20 pen case, 20 slot pen case. But aside from that, it's really like noticing what are the pens that I'm just really excited about. And I'm imagining right now that out of my current collection of 40 plus pens, nearly half of them are pens that I don't really care to use, really. So yeah, that's where I land. And consequently, this is the last question. Consequently, what would you do if another pen or ink came along? I've been trying really hard to be mindful of all of my pen and ink purchases these days. The only reason why I got the Platinum 3776 is because it was being offered on Instagram for a really great price. Also, it's been a pen that I've been wanting to use, and I know that it's been a favorite for lots of folks. Like, I actually reached out to Paris, Frenchie in Focus, and asked her, hey, I'm thinking about getting this Platinum 3776, and I saw that you had posted a review on it. What do you think about it? And she says it's one of her favorite pens. So hearing that, I promptly actually got that pen. But aside from, any future, aside from that, like, I do plan on being really discriminating with my future pen and ink purchases. Right now, I am going through all of my ink samples, and all of my bottles as well. And I'm doing an ink swatch book in one of my Hobonichi A6 planners for 2023. And my intention is that I'm going to swatch every ink sample and ink bottle that has come through this home of mine. And anything that doesn't really, like I said, excite me or really want me, doesn't really give me the feelings of, curiosity or exploration. If I don't feel like I'm looking forward to using these inks, then I'm going to swatch them so I can have it recorded, cataloged in my ink swatch book, and then I'm going to pass them along. But that being said, if there is a particular ink that is grabbing my attention, then I will think about getting a bottle. For example, my most recent ink bottle purchase is the Sailor 573. Do I have it inked in here? I don't think I do. Yeah, I don't have it inked in here, but I did get a bottle of the Sailor 573, partly because it reminds me of Teranishi Opera Rose, and I saw swatches of it online, and I think it's just a gorgeous color, and I love Sailor Ink Studio inks, and so I got it, and I love it. I absolutely love it. But I am definitely being more discriminating. I'm no longer buying ink samples. That was part of my initial fountain pen journey. But then as I was doing ink swaps with friends, I think I got quickly overwhelmed with a huge pile of ink samples and I just didn't know what to do with them. So now I'm in the season of, just whittling down, of really curating my collection of the types of inks and pens that I really want to have, and then commit to them and continue my journey of exploration. So anyway, those are my 8-pen questions. Thank you so much for staying to the end. Thanks so much for being a part of my fountain pen YouTube journey. And I hope you have a wonderful day. Take care. Bye.